It stormed here like crazy last night. But it was fine. We could barely even notice it, honestly. I think the boat actually is much better at deadening sound than your house is. So things are pretty quiet inside the boat, considering we have all those 100+ trains a day that go by that close. I think it might be pretty bad, but it's really not. But outside conversation can be challenging. We had a mayfly hatch last night too. So we got mayflies. It was a minor one, but when you get mayflies and you get rain in the same night, well, that's when you really end up with a mess because they stick to everything. So the daily cleanup of everything will start. The dock, the boat, everywhere that we have them. Between the mayflies and the spiders, it's a never-ending battle. But, oh, yeah, I got one on my shoulder right now, see? They just come and join you. It's so freaking cold in our boat right now because we had the air blasting yesterday because it was so hot that I woke up this morning and used the thermometer and it said, well, most of the boat was just around 59 to 63 degrees. Too cold in there. So you put a sweatshirt on. Feels like fall. Winston's doing his morning walking. Or mostly just standing there looking around, but yeah. Down the stairs into the yacht cabin. As you can see, it's like a party going on in here. Lots of cool lights. We got all the regular lights. We can turn all them on too. Maybe turn this crazy strobe light off. Somebody could probably tell me that I have a seizure from that. We don't want that. But so all the storage. So much storage back here. It's unbelievable. There's no problem with us trying to find places for our clothes or really anything else. We have all the tool storage in a lot of this stuff. So much stuff. Those drawers are so heavy. I mean, if it is a quick fix thing that is needed on this boat, it's probably already on here somewhere. And a lot of this stuff is just the way it came. I mean, you name it. I mean, I even got new impellers and O-rings for the water pumps, for the generator. All brand new. There's numerous of them. So somebody did a good job of stocking this boat with a lot of the wearable parts, which is really nice. Obviously behind that we have multiple windows. Window over there. And this would be classified, I guess, as the makeup table. You want to take your time and get ready? It's nice. You can put a stool there, sit there. I could probably work from there too if I really wanted to, but I don't really spend that much time working back here. I guess we spend our time relaxing back here. Obviously you can see TV back here as well. I mean, when you're laying in bed you gotta have TV, right? I do. So we got 2 TVs on board the boat. It's dark in here, but we'll turn some lights on. And this would be our bathroom, obviously, the master, I guess you would classify it as. Super nice. Plenty of room, lots of storage. No problem. All our necessities set up just like home. And this beautiful shower. Plenty of room in this shower. I mean, you could shower with a friend in this shower if you wanted to. Not that we have, but we could. Storage up here for your towels. all that good stuff. Really a super nice setup, I think. And the forward head's pretty nice too, but we don't really use it that much because this one's so nice. So, I guess from there, it's obviously these blue LEDs I didn't really talk about, but yeah, I added those. And all this accent lighting all the way along that rail, all the way down there. I just added that today because, again, lighting. These boats never seem like they have enough light, so if you can add some more to the mix, it's good. I really don't like running these old, busted up, whatever, can light looking things, but I haven't settled in on something that I really want to use to change that either. Lots of things you can do here. Of course, we can change it to white light and have things be a lot brighter. Or we can just go to red. We can do red, white, and blue if we want. 4th of July is coming up, so might as well make it a little festive. That's pretty much going to do. I guess it's not, because I didn't really even go to the closet. So we have our own closet in here too. Of course, it's dark now, so you're living in the darkness. It's even got its own motion activated light in it, so you can see your stuff. I'd try and get this open if I could, but it doesn't seem to want to open. But yeah, plenty of room for clothes. Vacuum cleaner, space heaters, fans. Again, most all this stuff was on this boat already. We're just sorting our way through figuring out what it all is. But storage everywhere. Storage in the steps. All the brand new striping for the side of this boat. If I ever get ambitious enough to actually get it completely wet sanded and polished, there's every different kind of striping on this boat. There's brand new rolls of it on this boat, so we can make it all new. Now we're in the salon. Obviously this would be our bathroom. I love this little storage area though. Super nice. This couch is awesome. Obviously you can see Winston doing his normal Winston stuff, sleeping. This couch, or sectional, or whatever you want to call it, is actually a pull-out. It's a hide-a-bed to where, well, 2 people could easily sleep on that. Down there would be the other TV that we watch when we're sitting in the salon. Obviously lower helm, super well set up. Don't really use it that much, but it's nice. I like to have it down here to start the engines, because I can sit here and listen to them. When I'm in the flybridge, I can't really hear the engines that well, so I like to start them down here. And then we'll go down into the galley, because of course a boat like this has steps everywhere. Galley's honestly awesome. Just a little on the tight side, I guess you'd say. You're not going to have 2 people in here, but other than that, I think it's pretty solid. Sink's super nice, got great pressure, lots of storage. All of our essentials. Gotta have bowls, silverware. Gotta have all your spices. And you gotta have cutting boards. This cabinet back here is kind of a, it's kind of a catch-all. It's also where I keep my bullet. All I really do with that, of course, is make iced coffees, because that's been my fetish now ever since the 1st of January incident, we'll just call it. Up here, more storage, and a nicely hidden microwave, because you gotta have a microwave. Who doesn't want a microwave? We're doing this cook little flat top right now because this stove works totally fine. except we're on GFI, and
So we
it
did end
trips
up
the
getting
GFI
the
breaker as
GFI
soon as
issues fixed with the
the
stove,
burners get
and
warm
we got it
enough.
working perfectly off of
So if
the
we want
shore
to use this
power by
stove,
the end of the summer.
we have to
It just took a
disconnect the
minute.
shore power and run the generator, and then it works fine. Oven is totally fine. Oven actually looks like it has not been used very much at all. Even though this boat's 35 years old, it pretty much looks new inside. Yeah, but that's cool. It still works. We tried it. Ah, galley, office, everything basically. As you can see, we have food stored everywhere because you gotta have food. This would be a good double berth as well if you had that many people on here and needed to sleep them. You could sleep 8 people on here without too much discomfort at all. Obviously this just drops down. I'm not going to show you right now because I have this computer and everything going. This desk opens up and it has storage inside, or table I should call it. Opens up, it has storage inside. Our laptops are in there. Our nautical charts are in there. All of our important paperwork, for the most part, is inside the table. Super cool feature. And this would be what we would call the forward head, or the day head. Pretty solid little vanity. I mean, it got everything you need. Again, you have a wet head, so yeah, you can take a shower while you're pooping if you want. But everything seems to work super nice, even though we don't really use it. And then you got your forward V berth. Again, fine. Everything's good. You could sleep 2 people in here easily. Pretty much got what you need. Got storage. Got space to sleep. I don't know what else you really need. All the hatches seem to work. This hatch I have open because, well, as you can see, it's missing its latch. Well, last night in the 70-mile-an-hour winds and pouring rain, even though we are in a covered slip, it still gets wet on the front of the boat, and it leaked a little. Kind of funny that it leaks and it just goes right down in the sink. But a leaking hatch is a leaking hatch, and I need to fix it. So we will. I guess we didn't talk about the refrigerator in the galley, but refrigerator's solid. Freezer works excellent. Plenty of stuff. Lots of space. No shortage of food-related extras on board this boat, unlike any other boat we've had. All the food is on this boat. So, that's pretty much the walkthrough of the inside. The only thing I think of the salon I didn't maybe talk about was the wine rack. How about the wine rack? Super cool. Keep all of our necessities in there. Everything works great. We have these nice hat trick monogrammed wine glasses to go along with it. So if you're somebody that would like to come have a drink of wine, we'll give it to you in a hat trick monogrammed glass. Just some of the little, whatever, little tweaks that make it home. The mini blinds in here are aluminum. Are super nice considering, again, their age, and work excellent. No complaints there. I suppose from here we can go outside, so that'll probably end the interior trip. As we come out the back door, we see a ton of Mormon flies, even though we've already cleaned them off once this morning. Doesn't really matter. They're everywhere, all the time. Flybridge, upper helm station, again super nice. Raymarine Axiom, plotter, pretty much everything we need. The stereo system on this boat is nice. Big amps, lots of cool stuff to make your party happen. Plenty of seating here in the back. boat's quite solid, it seems. Obviously, 36. I haven't really mentioned that. This is a 1989 Carver 3607 aft cabin. That is the model. Twin 454s, or as they would call them, the Crusader engines, in the 350 horsepower per side range. So as they would say, it's 700 horsepower. I don't think we've ran all 700 of those yet, but we might someday. Looks like Halls is trying to help a barge come through there. I'm guessing it must be because it's got those tankers on the front of it. And they usually don't let those go through without some help. This is kind of cool too, because he was right on the front of there pushing, and now you're going to see that barge slow down. He's going to spin himself right around and get out of the way of him just like that. Quite the maneuver. Super cool. These guys know what they're doing. Those are the benefits of twin engines too. People ask what it's like to drive. Well, that's what it's like to drive, because you can spin around in circles on yourself. It's like driving a skid loader, or like our surveyor told us, it's like driving a tank. I haven't drove a tank, so I don't know. But that's about to some extent. Hat trick. Its port was Bettendorf, Iowa at some point in his life. As you can see, we got mayflies, but that's an every hour treatment if you want to deal with them. It never ends. They're always falling. The forward deck has a very nice padded layout platform. It is all in excellent condition. We've pulled this all off and scrubbed down the fiberglass underneath. Everything looks very nice. We have 2 sets of these wonderful windshield covers that keep the sun from beating you to death during the afternoon. Pretty good setup. We have the powered spotlight, and we have an anchor that's a pretty good sized Danforth anchor, but I hate the anchor myself. I mean, we've used it once, it works fine. Windlass seems like it's excellent. It's a rope windlass, which is maybe not the best ever, but seems to work really well. So for now, we're rolling with it. Of course, we got the flag on the front, so go Hawks. This side's kind of the eyesore side too. I don't know why I picked this side to look at, because the other side, at least I have done some of the buffing, compounding, polishing, so it does have a little bit more of a shine to it than this side does. But oh buddy, it's a long process. But when I talk about the striping, it's like all of this. I have all of this, all of that. Really hard to see. Right here you can see where striping used to be, maybe. I have all of that striping. It goes all the way around the front of the boat. And I don't know if I can show you. It's on the bottom too. There you go. That stripe that goes all the way along the bottom before the bottom paint, which is black. We have all of that striping. So we can literally polish this boat down to new factory look and restripe the entire boat for nothing. It's already all on board the boat. So that's pretty cool, because there's definitely some places that need it. The hat trick name obviously isn't going anywhere, but the stickers might. We might redo them. We'll see. They're not terrible, but they're not the best either. They're probably not our style. So, I think that's pretty much the walk around. I wish I had a different mount for this antenna, because it's so tall that it bangs into the roof when we come in. But we improvise, make a way to work. storage behind here, storage up there, as most people would call it in a boat. That's the man cave. That's where all of the cleaning supplies, I don't know, whatever, manly stuff, I guess, gets stored up there. Anything that I don't really want inside the boat. And I would say, for the most part, that's the walkthrough. That's our home. That's Hattrick. So, and very soon, we will see. We are about to go through some major flooding in this marina. This marina was built this way to handle this flooding, so we are not nervous at all about the boat or any of the boats in here or the conditions we're going to face. We likely won't leave port a lot though during all of that. Conditions are very dangerous. Tree flow is really bad. Current is super fast. You're probably better off just to stay in port. Life on board the boat is basically the same whether you're in port or whether you're out there in the middle of the river. So you might as well stay where you're safe. And we can do some cruising because we're kind of tired of not really being able to be on sandbars or really have any sandbars to be on, because most of them are at a point where they're under the water. So we're going to cut this off for now. We'll pick it up. We're probably going to let Bonnie do some walkthrough of the place too, because, well, not everybody wants to look at my ugly mug. A lot of people want to hear Bonnie, so we'll let her do some videoing too.
As you can see, this is the 12-volt system. Basically everything that the boat operates off of when it is not in port. The 12-volt system, as you can see, basically runs everything on the boat, minus the air conditioning system. You would have to run the generator in order to have enough power to run the air conditioner. And so the 110 systems operate off of these two panels. As you can see, I'm not drawing much juice right now, but the bottom one is all the air conditioning systems and the seawater pump. And your top is obviously all your receptacles, your stove, and your water heater. Those neither need the generator to be running or to be hooked to shore power. The boat can make its own hot water off of the heat pump system that comes off the motor, so you can have hot water underway without actually running the generator. But that's the system. Stereo system here, got separate room controls. You can turn any speaker on and off. You can change the volume of any speaker. These little volume controllers are everywhere throughout the boat, and they change different speakers' volume. Obviously this is the Kohler generator controls and gives you all the details. This might be a little bit hard for me to go into, but I'm going to try to. I don't have many lights on in here, but there you can see what I talk about, the engineering. If you want to find something in this boat, just look on the floor. There is holes in this floor everywhere, all over this boat. There's another one. There's another one in that cabinet. There's another one down there underneath those shoes. And everything leads to something vital with the boat. Like this system, I'll open this hole if you'll really be able to tell it very well. But there's where our showers drain into. Here's the pump system that pumps it out overboard. Water fills up this basin with this little float switch in it, which kicks on this pump and drains the water out. Pretty straightforward. Sometimes getting these things to fit back in is tougher than you would think. What else could I show you? Down inside there is where the flow jet pump system is that pumps all of your fresh water throughout the boat. access panel in there to it. Underneath the bed, try and strip this back a little bit without making too much of a mess out of my bed, if I can. Again, access hatches. So underneath here you have hot water heater, you have freshwater storage tanks, and you have black water. So basically all your water storage for the aft of the boat happens underneath the bed. There's 120 gallons, I believe, of fresh water stored on board. There is 80 gallons of black water stored on board. And there is 11 gallons of hot water. And of course we got a lot of pillows, because who doesn't need pillows in their bed? So that's basically the aft systems. You got exhaust fan right there. You got air conditioning vents in all the bathrooms. Pretty much every room has some form of air conditioning vents, as you can see. There's the aft air conditioning controller. Another air conditioning vent over there. Inside the steps coming out of here, got this handy little storage compartment right there for, I guess, tape. Tape seems to be the theory around here. It likes to store tape. Also got storage underneath this step right here, really hard to see. That's where on and off valves are supposed to be for our fuel system, port and starboard. They have been removed from the boat. It's down below now. But we're gonna fix that. We're gonna put them shut-offs right back in there underneath that step where they belong. Trying to fix it up the way it goes. Underneath here, underneath the table, that would be your front black water storage. 40 gallons of storage underneath there. Underneath there, you got another access panel. That would be the air conditioning system. There would be your input. 16,000 BTUs is the air conditioner for the salon. And it has ductwork that pumps out there, pumps out up there, and if you really want, pumps out an vent above here in this head. Now let me tell you, it'll become like a refrigerator inside this head if you want it to be. The forward air conditioning system, once again another access panel, but it's underneath there. It's a 6,000 BTU system right there, same as the one in the back. Same unit. Ductwork comes out over there, somewhere else too, remember, above there. And I think the front air conditioner actually feeds this vent right here in the kitchen galley as well. So 3 air conditioning systems for a total of something like 28,000 BTUs. So far we've only had to use 2 of them because when you're underneath the shade of this covered dock, you really don't need that much. I'm only running the one in the back bedroom right now because it's cool enough in here with just one of them running. So that's kind of the walk around. I'll have to get into the systems of the actual engines next. I guess I could show you down here. This system is exactly the same as the system in the back. Again, catch basin, several hoses going in. It catches the sink, the air conditioner, the shower, and the anchor locker drains into that front. Again, float switch and pump. Pump is not in the same container, so I can't show you the pump from here. It's underneath the steps. But again, access panels everywhere. access panel underneath the steps is where I'm talking about that pump for the shower is, as well as your forward bilge pump. I think between the shower pumps and the actual bilge pumps on board, emergency wise, there are 6 pumps in the bottom of this boat that would pump out water if the boat really needed it to. So it could dump, I don't know, I'd have to do some figuring, but it's got to be able to dump close to 3,000 gallons an hour overboard if it needs to. So we have had no real leaking issues. We have a little bit of a drip in the water heater that does build up some water in the aft bilge, and it's not really even enough to kick on the bilge. So I mostly just pump it out with our 12-volt seawater pump or whatever, like wash down pump basically. It was on the boat too, so we rigged it up with a system that makes it very easy to pump those bilges out, and it pumps it out fast. So that's been good. Next thing you know, we'll go into the engine compartment. We'll have to move the dog though, because he likes to hang out underneath or up on there, where as soon as you take the whole floor out of the salon, he's got nowhere to live. Okay, so we're going to try and do a quick little rundown of the power plant. As you can see, warnings. I just took out one section of the floor. This whole floor comes out, but this is just one little section. I don't really feel like taking a whole lot more of it out currently. I'll climb down here in this engine bay. It could be a little hard to see underneath here now that I don't have a light, so we'll try and change that and get a light. Start from this way, I guess. So you got a Kohler generator, as you can see. It is a 9,000 watts, I believe. You can start it from down there, or you can run it, of course, from the switch over there on the wall. Same thing. System seems to work really well. No complaints. You got fresh water coming in there. I'll try and get down in here. You can kind of see there's one of them. So the batteries are underneath. 3 batteries. They're underneath this board right here that I'm walking on. One of them feeds each engine, and one of them feeds the generator. So you have a separate battery for the generator, because the generator can charge the other batteries. So if you would have power issues, you could feasibly solve those issues by firing up the generator, and it would recharge the systems for the regular cruising engines. You can kind of see blower down there. Sorry, this light's probably bad. There you can see the seawater pump system. That is what brings our water in for our air conditioning, which apparently currently is not working or on. There's all kinds of valves. You can see one there, one there. There you can see that's where our fresh water comes in for the toilet, or I shouldn't call it fresh, but seawater comes in for the toilet. Seawater entrances for the engines. These are the heat exchangers that you have on each engine. This heat exchanger system right here is what gives you your hot water when you are underway. Try and do this without this. So, twin 454s, obviously Mercury Crusaders. They would have been what was classified as the 350 horsepower version. So this boat is rated at 700 horsepower, 350 aside. It does have a brand spanking new Edelbrock Marine carburetor on this particular engine. And a transmission. There you can see the color of it is not blue, because that transmission is new as well. And based upon what I can tell, it's got about 20 hours on it. So that's should be good for a while. There you can see our drive shaft system. Can't really see, that is a wet system, so there is a drip for each engine where your drive shaft goes through. So you'll see a little bit of moisture down there, but very, very little. Looks pretty good. Other engine. Pretty straightforward. This is where the business happens. So that'll pretty much cover the engine room. The engine room in this boat is not huge. It would be nice if you had a walk-in room, but they've done an amazing job of working all these boards and parts on the floor. This floor over here where this sectional is, it completely comes out too. So basically the whole floor would come out. Let's say you'd have to change an engine, rebuild an engine, something like that. I'm sure it would be a bit of a nightmare, but it's very doable. So I'm just sitting here now still in the engine bay, but I'm just thinking about wrapping this video up. I don't really know what else there is to cover on board the boat. Systems are pretty straightforward, honestly. Not a lot to it. Everything works as it should at this point. We've replaced a lot of pumps, a lot of hoses. We have done some work to the engines. We have fixed power steering issues. We have changed fuel filters. I don't know. We've done a lot of stuff. We have not ran these engines since we did any of that. Other than we did bring them up to an idle and idle across the way here to pump out here 2+ weeks ago now. So these engines basically have done almost no work now in about 2 months. So they're dying to go out and do some ripping, and I kind of am too. So definitely hoping that sometime here in the very near future this water level is going to go down. The dog's going to stop whining in the back so we don't have to listen to him, and we'll put this floor back together so he can come back out. From there, I think we're pretty well ready to go cruising. I definitely see some cruising coming up this weekend, even though water levels are still not great. But this thing floats downriver like crazy. You ain't even got to have the engines running, so all we got to do is get back upstream. I think I'll cut it off. Thanks for watching. There's going to be plenty more to come, and I'm sure at some point I'll do a video sitting in this engine room where it's probably a bit more of a nightmare than it is right here today. But it's part of owning a boat. So be safe.